My name's Mark Wilson, and in this video I'm going to take a look at managing Hyper-V from the command line using Windows PowerShell and Windows Management Instrumentation, or WMI. In another video I gave an introduction to Hyper-V, the virtualization platform which is built into Windows Server 2008. But when virtualizing IT infrastructure, it's critical to consider management. Hyper-V ships with an MMC snap-in for local or remote management, or System Center Virtual Machine Manager 2008 is a great solution for managing virtual workloads across a number of hosts, and it integrates with other System Center products to look not just at the virtual machine itself, but at the applications running inside that VM too. In this video, I'll demonstrate a third method for managing Hyper-V, in my favourite place, the command line. Hyper-V uses WMI APIs to create, manage, monitor and configure virtual resources, and Microsoft expects these APIs to be used widely by third-party management vendors who want to write tools to manage Hyper-V, by enterprises who want to integrate with an existing management solution, and by developers who want to automate virtualization in test and development environments through scripts. Details of the APIs are available on the MSDN website. Now, I mentioned System Center Virtual Machine Manager, which includes a number of PowerShell commandlets for managing Hyper-V, but it's also possible to write your own using the WMI API. Now, readers of James O'Neill's blog may recognise the following demonstration, and James was kind enough to let me use it. So, here we have a computer running Windows Server 2008, and if we check in Server Manager, we can see that I've already installed Windows PowerShell. If I hadn't done this, then I would click on Add Features and run through the Add Features wizard. So let's start my PowerShell, and I'm going to run as administrator here. Now some of the commands I type are long, so I'm also going to paste them in rather than you watch me type it wrong. So this one's get WMI object, and we're getting everything from the class MSVM computer system from the namespace of the virtualization. You can see here that it's returned all the details of all the virtual machines that are running on the machine. There's the parent partition, Microsoft host and computer system. And then there's the children, they all show as Microsoft virtual machine. Next, instead of returning all the objects in the class, we'll perform a WMI query to search for objects containing virtual machine in their caption, so just the VMs. And we can see that all of these show as Microsoft virtual machine, the parent partitions not there at all. I'm going to do the same thing again, exactly the same command, but this time I'll put it into a variable. I could call my variable VMs, and that will return an object called VMs, which basically contains all the details for all the virtual machines on my host. Type VMs, there we go. It looks exactly the same, but obviously we can do things with that. It's a bit unwieldy though. So next we'll format it as a table and give it some meaningful headings. Just paste in the command. Obviously format table, automatically size it, and our labels. We're going to have the virtual machine name and the GUID and the state there, the enabled state. Well, 3, I know that means it's not running, and 2 is running, but that doesn't really mean very much. So we'll do something similar, only this time we'll put some logic there to describe the state of the running machines. If that looks a bit unwieldy, bear in mind this is a scripting language, you wouldn't necessarily type that in every time. Now this time I'm going to paste in a function. We've seen that PowerShell is pretty powerful, and we'll just use some basic commands. If we use this function, we can return a list of virtual machines, and then we can choose which one that we want to perform an action on. I've already got it here in Notepad. paste that in. So that function is now available in my shell for me to call. If I type choose VM, you can see that I've got 2 stock machines, 5 running, and I choose my Violet machine and just get the details on the one virtual machine there. Much easier to manage. Now we already saw that 2 of my virtual machines are switched off. If I use the choose VM function with the current object and request a state change, I can turn a machine on or off, save the state, etc. So I'm going to paste in the command here. $_ is the current object. I'm going to request a state change to 2. And we can see that if I choose the Violet virtual machine, it now switches to running state, and we can see Windows starting up on the machine there. If I do the same again, but this time I'll choose a state of 3, we'll stop it. Then choose the VM. That's it, it's immediately gone to off. Now that's the virtual equivalent of pulling out the power cord. It's not a very good way to shut a machine down. So we can use a slightly more complex command to take our machine called yellow, and we're going to shut that down gracefully. So here we go, you can see it's running Windows Server. Yellow, and we're going to paste in the appropriate PowerShell command, tell it to initiate a shutdown using the proper API calls. The reason because I said so. Choose 5, which is our yellow machine here. We've got a return value of 0, so it's successful. And if we switch back to the console, obviously a Windows shutdown this way is not immediate, so we'll wait a few moments and we should see this machine shutting down. There we go, Windows is shutting down. Now, PowerShell rocks, but this isn't a PowerShell demo. I'm just using PowerShell to show how straightforward it is to control Hyper-V using the WMI API. Choose VM is just one of many PowerShell functions that are available as an open source project on Codeplex known as the PowerShell Management Library for Hyper-V. So, in this video we've seen how to use PowerShell to control Hyper-V using the WMI API. Of course, this demonstration just scrapes the surface. There's plenty more that can be done by extending this concept to use other API calls. I hope you found the video useful, and thanks for watching.